Hi, Ben.
Hi, Bobby. Hi, Gata. How you guys doing?
What's
Great.
good, Big Ben? What's good, big homie?
Not much. Not much, but I did check out the film. Very much enjoyed it. Enjoyed your work in it. It sounds like you guys got it looked like you had a really great group dynamic working all together with everybody, including Johnny Knoxville and Jay Moore. And I was wondering, how did you go about achieving that?
Well, for me, I got the movie through the 12 step world because I'm sober. So,
Hmm.
once I talked to Lige and he was like, so and so's in it, so and so was in it. I just felt I mean, because I've known Jay for over 20 years, Jay Moore. Theo I've known since he was started doing stand up, and and I know both of those guys are sober. So um for me, just it was I felt like, and I've done a lot of things in my career, but I feel like this one I felt like I was meant to do, and that I was doing some sort of service work with it. It didn't feel like a vanity project or whatever. It felt like I was doing something to help, I guess, in a weird way. And I thought that Elijah really got the tone of the movie right, and it felt so authentic that especially the recovery elements in it. I forgot what the question was, but that's it.
Just like the
So,
group dynamic, how you went about working with one another.
I mean, I mean, honestly, I mean, from since day one, it felt like we were in a platoon and we were in Vietnam. I mean, it felt so comfortable. Like, I mean, we've known each other for many, many years. There was no ego or weirdness on set ever. It was like just a bunch of guys hanging out and supporting each other. Gata?
It was easy to mesh, man, because when you work with people that you respect and look up to, it just makes things easier, man. And just to know that I was a newbie on the scene, Johnny Knoxville been doing this for a long time. Bobby Lee been crushing it. Mo been killing it, So they just really made me feel more comfortable because I'm the one that's still trying to, build up my brand and prove myself as an actor, whatever, comedian, fun guy. But yeah, man, it was dope working with them.
Great. And with your experiences, both of you with mental health and drug rehabilitation, how much would you say, how much of that informed your performances in this film?
It enhanced mine a lot because I come from a background of addiction. My mom and dad were both drug addicts. And, I deal with my personal problems. I'm a mental health awareness advocate, bipolar, anxiety. So it was easy for me to grasp onto.
Great. Yeah, I deal with mental health issues myself, so it's nice to see people confronting that.
Take your meds, bro. Take the meds.
I do. I do take the meds. I tried to get off them once and my mood spiraled, but anyway. And I mean, Bobby Lee, did you want to add to that?
I mean, some of the conversations I had with Elijah was like, does this feel real? When you're working with people that are also sober, I mean, the relationship is different, right? There's more of an honest, there's not the filters you normally would use in a regular like movie or whatever, right? It was like, a lot of honesty so for me, when I was in some of those scenes, I felt like I said, I was in an AA meeting, I mean? So it's like, it felt like, I don't know that this is a message that needs to get out there,
Yeah.
it's hard to explain really, to be honest with you, but it just felt right.
Mhm. I know people who've been through these meetings and swear by them. And yeah, it is a tricky message to get out there. I was curious how you guys feel about those who don't necessarily deal with these kind of mental health or addiction afflictions. What would you say to them who are people who are on the outside of all of that?
Okay, let me answer this. So for me, I mean, there's so many different ways of getting sober and dealing with your mental health, right? I've been pretty traditional about it. I see a therapist, I have a psychiatrist, and I also go to a lot of A meetings, you know what I mean? And I think, 12 steps have really been the foundation of how I do anything, since I was 17 years old, and I'm 52 now, so I've been around, so for me, but I understand that there are different paths and there are different ways of getting, but we're just portraying one way, this is an option, and if you're struggling, this is an option that you can take a path, and I think that message is really portrayed in the movie.
It is. Yeah, definitely. I mean, these groups are great. And then Gata, did you have anything to add to that in terms of like mental health?
Yeah, I just want to say that for mental health, the best form of therapy is communication, just talking to someone. A lot of people are scared to be embarrassed and, they don't want to talk about their problems, but you got to face them head on. It starts in the mirror. Talk to yourself and acknowledge that you have a problem. And then once you acknowledge you have a problem, you're going to be more vulnerable to letting other people know that you need help and that you have a problem. So yeah, man, communication. Tell somebody that you want to be pulled out the dark and it's okay not to be alone.
Absolutely. That's great. Yeah. I mean, the first step is always asking for help, and that's usually the hardest step sometimes, you know.